Hello everyone and welcome to Bladesong. I just found out about this game a couple of days ago and let me tell you, it is a doozy. I tried out the demo and I immediately contacted the developers and graciously they gave me a key, and a big thank you goes out to them for it because, oh geez, this game is quite special. Well, in case you are wondering, this game is mostly about forging swords, and it is quite an in-depth and very powerful system that we have to create these swords. In fact, if we wanted to, we could go into creative mode and I could show you one sword that I have made. Basically, I have made this. It might look, well, quite simple, but let me tell you, it was not as easy as it looks. Well, as I said, it is a very freeform system. We could adjust the crossguard, for example. All we need to do is click here and drag it around. It is quite something, to say the least. But anyways, you can go back to where you were. We can also adjust the hilt. This is basically 3 parts. I also added some, I don't know, rivets and these little inlays of copper. So yeah, oh sorry, bronze. And I have made the blade in this leaf shape. As I said, it is very in-depth, and if you look at the different creations that this game offers, it is incredible. I don't even want to begin to explain how much we can make with this one. But anyways, this is not why we are here. We are here because this game also has a bit of a story mode. And, as you might have guessed, we will have to manage a smithy where we will have to take on commissions, and we have to make sure that we fulfill those commissions to the specifications of the customer. And everything we adjust on the blade will adjust the actual final sword, so we have to be quite careful how we do this one. So anyways, let's start a new game in story mode. In glowing darkness you ride. You cling to life by the tips of your fingers. Something takes shape in the emptiness, contours of flesh tracing along familiar lines, a withered old woman's face floating before your own. When she speaks, she has the rasping voice of a raven. No, I will not do the voice because I am not a voice actor, but, well, bear with me. Who are you? A swordsmith? A survivor? A saint? I am a dying man. Dying? Wrong. It is not yet your time. The sundering claimed untold lives, yet you endured. When so many around you perished, what did you do to survive? Basically, we can choose our background. This mercenary will give us +3 toughness, leader will give us diplomacy, wanderer will give us knowledge, and the slave will give us finesse. I have no idea what these will do. I suspect these will be for maybe conversation skill checks or something. I think I will go for the wanderer because this is the one that speaks to me the most, and also I like to be knowledgeable about the world. A cold hand touches your brow. Water cools your burning throat. You catch something through all your hardships. A keepsake from a better time. What is it? An artisan's toolkit, a family heirloom, a bottle of rare old war spirits. This one is for the optimization focused playstyle, the heirloom is for a story focused playstyle, and the artisan's toolkit is for a creative playstyle. I think I will go for the creative playstyle. Although, as far as I understand, I did watch one video of the game before I actually got the key from the developers. I do believe we can buy the different leathers and pigments later. I am not sure if we can get the heirlooms. We might want to get this one, in fact. But this one will limit our options for crafting later. You know what? Choose something that we cannot get otherwise. At least I don't think we can get the heirloom otherwise, so let's go for the heirloom, I think. The fire is burning itself out, leaving you a damp shadow of your old self. You claw blindly in the darkness until more water is tipped down your throat. What do you believe in now the voices have abandoned this world? Oh, right. The story, as far as I understand, is quite post-apocalyptic, but in a medieval setting. As far as I understand it, there was a big cataclysm, and now humanity is, well, scattered and dying, and it is a very bleak setting to say the least. So we have to choose something to hold on to. We can hold on to ambition, continuity, freedom, compassion, or nothing. I would like to go for compassion, I think. Every small kindness is an act of defiance in a world without pity. I think, you know what? Let's bring a little bit of light back into the world. You have it backwards. Love is what dooms your kind in the end. The world will tear out that soft heart of yours and devour it. I will leave you with one final question, and I don't expect an answer. What will fill the silence the voice it left behind? As the old woman's face retreats into inky blackness, sparks flicker into life behind her, one by one. Field of stars burning with sickly pale light. Like seeds taking root, they twist and expand, their tendrils branching and burrowing through the darkness until they have strangled it with light. Now wake, Smith. You still have a part to play in humanity's final act. Your eyes flutter as you regain consciousness. You are faintly surprised to find yourself alive. Either that did not come for you, or when it did, it found you unyielding. Awaken. You sit up, gasping, sweat-drenched. The fever has broken. A lifetime on the road selling your wares, sleeping under trees, learning the secrets of the world. Every year it got harder. Landmarks vanished, bridges collapsed, outposts fallen to ruin. At last, you were forced to seek a sanctuary. It was a long journey to Eren Keep, through dust and despair. Your last memories are of sliding from your dying horse, your numb legs, tracking furrows in the mud as someone dragged you to shelter. But who? Outside the tent is a crude field forge, complete with an anvil. Did you crawl here in a daze? Or did your mysterious caretaker bring you here? Either way, the anvil gives you feelings of home. You're in a tent. There is no sign of your caretaker apart from a half-empty water pail and a damp cloth on your brow. You peek out of the tent flap, squinting against the sunlight. Outside, as far as the eye can see, stretches a chaotic sprawl of tents and shelters, churned mud, and shallow graves. Most of your rations are gone. Your horse was already dying when the fever took you. His body is nowhere to be seen. By now, it's likely soup. You're on your own. Assess the field forge's condition. It seems to have been abandoned for some time, lacking anyone with the skill to work it. But it won't require much effort to get it running again, should you need to make a living out here. Hopefully it won't come to that. First, you should head to the gates and try to secure entry to Eren Keep. That's why you came here after all. Okay, so this is the start of the tutorial, let's go for it. So welcome to the camp swordsmith. People will come to you with commissions, you will choose your commissions to take on. Commissions refresh daily, select a highlighted button to select your first one. Let's go for it. We need to talk to Owen. Your first customer is a gaunt man with tattered cloak. He approaches you, noticing the anvil outside of your tent. You're a blacksmith? Can you make a sword? I've got the coin for it, just make sure it's good and long. I don't like my enemies to be in hugging distance, if you get my meaning. Okay, so we need to spend 1 action points, we have 3, and we need to spend 11 steel, we have 22. Okay, let's go for it. And we will get some XP and some money. Okay, so this is the forging system. Okay, so camera is understood. Then we can look at the previous tutorial messages. Thank you. And so first we need to make sure that the blade is long enough. All we need to do is change the length. So basically we need to stretch out this piece of steel. And there's a timing system. If we time it correctly, it will be a bit more efficient every hammer strike. There we go. Now, there is a thing in the game where we can enable, where is it? Display hammer timing system. I don't think I will, it's right here. Basically, we have to strike the hammer right in the middle of this bar, but you know what? It's fine. I don't think I will bother. I think I have the timing done more or less. Anyways, the blade is now long enough, just barely, but as long as it's long enough, it's fine. Next up, we need to change the thickness. Basically, it is right now a big, well, square, long bar. That will not do. Need to make it a bit thinner. Also, we might as well enable the cross-section display. This is the cross-section of the blade, and it will display whatever we are hovering over, because as I've said in the beginning, the blades will change thickness as we work on them. So we need to make this one a bit thinner. Apparently that will do. Next up, we need to change the width. I suspect we need to make it a bit wider. Let's take a look. Yeah, apparently that will be fine. Okay, so the blade is taking shape quite nicely. Next up, we need to make a point. Well, obviously that is going to be the end of the blade. Well, hammer the point on the sword. As far as I understand, we will start with very few skills. We will unlock more skills as we go, and it will give us a lot more options to work with. But for now, we don't have a lot of options, so we have to make do. Let's just turn the point of the sword into a point. So the point is now done. Next up, cross section. This is basically the edge of the sword. So first we need to hammer it down a couple of times until we get to the point where we have an edge. But if we continue, it will hammer down the sides of the blade, and it will create a lot narrower edge basically. And if you want to increase the sharpness, we have to do this. There we go. Also, keep an eye on the cross section, because that is how the blade looks as we go along. As you can see, where we are hovering the cursor, that is what is being shown. Anyways, the blade itself is pretty much done at this point. So yeah, it's not very complicated, but as I said, we don't have the skills to make very complicated swords yet. Next up, well, obviously every sword needs a crossguard. I think for this one, it's a very simple sword. Let's give it a very simple crossguard. That will do. And we don't have the skill to adjust the crossguard yet, so yeah, we need to get better. Anyways, as we add more stuff, it will increase the resource requirements for the sword. Next up, we need to add a grip, and it needs to be a two-handed sword apparently. Okay, so we need to have a long enough grip to satisfy it. I think I will go for a wide oval at the start, and then I will narrow it down. Something like this. And yes, this will give us a two-handed sword. Well, he was asking for a long sword, so I suppose this should be long enough. Next, a pommel. And let's go for... this one might be a bit... Alright, we need to change it a couple of times so tutorial is satisfied. So we can go for this one. I mean, it is quite simple. Oh yeah, and we can fine adjust it with the period and comma. go this way or this way. Yeah, I think this will do. Can I... Oh, I cannot adjust the size yet, but once again, once we have the skill for it, we will be able to. Okay, you can detach sword parts again by clicking on them, so all you need to do is click on them and you can adjust them, that's fine. And we will require some extra wood because we have added wood as the handle. Anyways, the ability history shows all abilities that we have done before, and thankfully we can adjust them later. In fact, if we are not satisfied with something, we can remove it and it will delete all the adjustments that we have made. So for example, we could add another thickness and we can have a wider part here, a thinner part here, and if we are not satisfied with something, we can remove the one that we don't like and it will get rid of all the adjustments that we have made. Anyways, it is asking us to change the thickness again, but in reverse. So instead of making it narrower, instead of making it wider, we need to make it a bit narrower. And there we go. This commission is fulfilled. So it's time to sell the sword. Click the button above, offer to Owen. Basically, he was asking for a long blade that is satisfied and two-handed that is satisfied. Everything else is not as important, but still, we might want to give everyone a good sword. Anyways, since this is our first sword, we might as well name it. Let's call it Genesis. Sure, why not? The man takes the sword and jabs it at his shadow experimentally. A slow grin crosses his face. This should do the trick. Thank you, Smith. Here's your payment. Yes, I am done. I love that little cinematic after every sword. Anyways, congratulations on finishing your first sword. Another customer awaits. Let's go for it. Landon. Okay, the word is already spreading around camp about a new smith. Your next customer is a weary looking man with a bald pate, his hollow eyes darting back and forth. I heard you came down with a wasting fever. Lucky to be alive you are. Anyways, can you modify this sword for me? I scavenged it from the ruins, but it hasn't got enough of a point to it. I want something to stab into a thief's belly if I need to. He hands you a sword with a sharp edge, but a rounded tip. As you hold it up to the light, he leans forward conspiratorially. I've only had this blade 3 days and I felt people's jealousy eyes upon it. If they come for it in the night, I want to be able to give them a short, sharp stab. Okay, he will give us some XP, money, and some old tools. Let's go for it. Okay, so here's a sword. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. But he is asking for a more narrower point. So, narrow point. All we need to do is adjust the point. And this is the first freeform adjustment that we can make. Basically, right now it is more of a rounded tip. We need to make it a bit more pointy. So bring this one down, and as you can see, this is the end result. All we need to do is hammer it a couple of times and that will bring it into shape. And that will do. Now it is a narrow point. If you really wanted to, we could make it a bit more pointy. In fact, if you make it more pointy, that will lower the weight. It might make it a bit more fast. Since he's asking for protection, I think speed might be more his style. Let's go for it. Yeah, it is now a bit more fast. Okay, I think he will like this one a bit more now. If he wants to be, you know, stabby, he wants to be fast with it. Okay, then I think we can call this one good enough. The man takes the sword and tests the point, smiling at the bead of blood that wells at his fingertip. Then he stows it away, glancing around the camp as he does so. Folks out here will take everything from you if you ain't vigilant. Keep a keen eye out, Smith. He scurries away, his back hunched as though against a non-existent downpour. Also, since we didn't name the sword, it is a nameless sword, but you know what? I don't think naming a sword I didn't forge is quite appropriate, so I will not. Anyways, we received a scrap item. It will take energy or action points to scrap stuff, so not much we can do. It's part of the tutorial, so we have to do it. There we go. It got us 13 extra steel, not too bad. Anyways, we are out of action points, not much we can do, we have to go to bed. Or end the day, because I believe at the end of the day we can go around town. Let's take a look. Okay, so we have made 55 profit, but we have to pay 20 for upkeep, so 35 coins we have. Anyways, yes, we can go around and explore the keep now. Well, we only have one option, so might as well go for it. Passage into Eren Keep is barred by a colossal gate taller than a ship's mast. It was built to withstand enemy armies, but since the Masked King's ascension, it mainly keeps out the desperate masses seeking his protection. Knowledge 60%. Examine the magical barrier. Is only visible in the half light of dawn, or when it pours with rain, a faint shimmer that rises from the walls and captures Eren Keep in a vast dome. Success! For a city to have survived this long, past the Sundering, it must have extraordinary defenses. You've heard that some surviving outposts have guardian dragons or shrouds of impenetrable fog, but none have a perfect protection as Eren Keep. It's as though the songs never ended. Attackers, humans or otherwise, are simply unable to breach the dome. Poisonous miasmas dissipate harmlessly against it, plagues are kept at bay. Within its sanctuary, crops grow without withering, water runs clean, and people can sleep without fear. Must be nice. If such miracles can exist in the world without the voices, surely there is hope for the future. You are now inspired. Nice. Can I check? Not really. Anyways, approach the gate. As you approach, the portcullis raises to admit a caravan and chaos breaks out. The crowd swells like rising tide. Refugees push forward, begging for entry, and the guards batter them back with their shields. The merchant wagons barrel through their drivers, using horse whips to lash stragglers out of the way. Well, since we don't have a chance of success, I don't think this will work. You know what? Let's play it safe. Call for the attention of the guards. Huh? What do you want? He gazes down at you like a fisherman disappointed with his catch. I want to enter the keep. Obviously, I don't have the coin. You a citizen? Or got yourself a worker's permit? Of course. If you could let me through. Let me see your papers. I must have misplaced them. I don't think we can do this one. Get out of here, applicant, and stop wasting my time. Applicant. That is the euphemism the guards use to refer to the desperate hordes camping at their gate. It has a nicer ring, you suppose, than refugee. Please, I traveled a long way and barely survived the journey. I need to get through. I have useful skills. I'm a blacksmith. Let's see. Every applicant who comes here begging is a doctor or a master glassmaker or a damned alchemist. You think I was born yesterday? If you're a smith, prove it. How do you expect me to do that? I can show you a sword I made. If you just come with me, I'll demonstrate my skill at my forge. Maybe he will come to us as a potential client someday. Let's go, let's try that. Do you think I can just leave my post like that? Pause off, little fly. Maybe he will go on leave someday and maybe he will visit us. Fingers crossed. Head back to your tent. You return to your tent where your makeshift forge awaits. You're hardly at your best working with such limited materials, but it's all you have for the time being. It won't be long before your cache of steel runs out. Still, it seems like you are going to be here for longer than expected. You should make it a priority to find a merchant in this forsaken place. Alright, let's go for the next day. Nicely done, you've finished the tutorial. From today on, you will have more action points to spend. You won't be able to complete every commission, so pick the ones you like the sound of. The game will open up from here, don't be afraid to explore. Here are a few resources to get you started. Thank you very much. So we have extra steel, extra wood, and that's it. Well, we have 8 action points, some wood, no leather, some steel, and a bit of coin. Oh, let me see. So this is the skill tree. We don't have any skill points yet, so not much we can do here, but we are inspired. You are crackling with energy, brimming with ideas, increases your XP and diplomacy. Nice. So only today, I suppose. Let's see, if we have increased XP, we might want to go for ones that give us the most XP. Also, isn't that the same guy who was asking for the pointy? Hello, Smith. Nice setup you got here. Yeah, it was Landin, right? And another one. Oh, okay, I think we have different names. Okay, never mind. Okay, let me see. Oh, 7 points. Now, we need to pay attention to their requirements. For example, this guy requires us to use something from a book. Smith's Companion. I don't think we have that one. We have... I don't know. I cannot see the title of the book, but I don't think this is the one we need. Or... I think if we didn't have it, it would say that we have 0, I think. Material wood, that's not it. Yeah, I think we have the Smith's Companion. Anyways, we are looking for the most XP, I think. Oh, and he will give us some extra leather as well. I don't want to do the math right now, so I don't think I will look at the XP per action point. Let me see. A man sits by your anvil, staring at the keep's walls looming over the camp. His eyes track every guard and passes along the battlements. They are building up to something. More guards on the walls every day. New weapons. They've been watching them prepare for weeks. He scratches absently at an old scar on his face. It will be at night. When they think we are sleeping, they will pour out of those gates, clean up the refugee problem once and for all. Just you wait. I reckon I will need a good blade at my side. He is a bit paranoid. What about Isolde? A woman stands at your anvil, her eyes scanning the horizon. She flinches at you as you approach her. I hear it at night, you know. Circling, screeching, getting closer. What? The others say I'm mad, that we left that thing back in the wastes, but they didn't see what it did to my brother. The way it looked at me as it tore him limb from limb. Ooh. It didn't hunt like an animal. It watched me, enjoyed my fear. I'm sure it followed me all this way. Sounds like a good blade at your side could come in handy. Look, lady, I just make swords. Do you want one or not? Let's see. I don't know what a sword can do against something like that, but I figure having a sword is better than having nothing at all. Yeah, I think I will help her. What about, before I do so, let's take a look at the other ones. A woman who approaches your anvil has sharp, quick eyes that never stop scanning her surroundings. Judging by her scars, she's had some close scrapes in her past. I'm looking to head into the lost city and find stuff to sell. People say there's treasure there, stuff that was left behind. Old tools, scrap, maybe even some gold. But the lost city is dangerous. Think haunted dark. I need something to keep me alive out there. Call it an investment. Okay. What about London? Hello, Smith. Nice setup you got here. What can I do for you? There's a gang that comes around my tent every night, regular as clockwork. They kick and beat us, take our rations, push our faces into the mud. You would think there would be some solidarity out there, but, well, there ain't. I managed to hide the last of my coin from them so far, but who knows for how long. Best to spend that coin on a good sword, I reckon, so I protect what's mine. I think I will go for Isolde and Landon. And then we will have 1 point left. He will give us an old tool, you will give us extra steel and a small drum and a mystery reward. Okay, we have enough points to do both of them, I think. I don't think I will go... Villa would be okay, but this guy gives me the creeps, so I don't think I will. And we can do the wood and the Smith's Companion. As I said, I think that is the book we have, but I cannot read the title. I think I can adjust the UI size. Let me see. Yeah, that should do it. Yeah, there we go. Smith's Companion. Yeah, the UI was a bit too big, but I can read. Okay, so yes, we do have the book. Good. Okay, so we can make both of them. Let's start with Isolde. Let's make sure we can finish hers first. So she is asking for a fast, two-handed broad-point sword. Let's go for it. And we have the steel for it. So once again, first things first, we need to make sure it is long enough. And that will do. Obviously, it is now a big block of steel, so it's not going to be very fast, but if you make it a bit narrower, that should do it. So, you know what? Since it needs to be two-handed, we might as well take care of that first. So, hilt. She's not asking for any specific hilt, so I think I will give her the Sal sword. There. And let's go for oval. Yeah, let's go for this one and then this one. Yeah, that will do. As for the pommel, let's go for this one. Okay. Obviously, it has a lot of impact because it is a big block of steel. As we adjust this one will change. Next up, go back to blade mode. I will give it the point right now. Now she is asking for a broad point, so we need to bring this one up a little bit. And let's see. It is broad already. Okay, if I make it a bit narrower or shorter, there we go. No, okay, let's go backwards. Yeah, I think this will do. More of a cutting sword than a thrusting sword. Anyways, now we need to make it a bit lighter and narrower. So thickness, you go down a lot. In fact, I think I will go for that. It is very, very narrow, but you know what? It's better this way. And everything else is satisfied. Now we just need to give it an edge and that will do. Okay, cross section. Ooh, and it is already 3 points sharp, so it is as sharp as it can be. If I go a little bit more, we might be able to make it a bit lighter, so it might be a bit faster. But it is not very balanced, unfortunately. Now, I don't know. Does the balance need to be in the middle or at the end? Because it says current 30%. The center of balance is an important property controlled by altering the weight of the hilt and the blade. I suspect it needs to be all the way to the top. If you put it in the middle, it will be only 50% balanced. So yeah, I think it needs to be a bit better than this. Let's see if I can make it wider, maybe. Yeah, that will increase the balance quite a bit and impact too. As long as the speed is fine. Ooh. Yeah, that's a wide blade. Can I make it maybe thinner? No, it is as thin as possibly can be. But you know what? It's fine. It's more balanced. She should be fine. Just need to make it a bit more broad. Yeah, there we go. Can I make it a tiny bit more pointy? Doesn't look right. So, what do you think? I think this will do. I will name it Broadleaf. Sure. I think that is quite fitting. Alright, I think we can call this one good enough. I think everything is satisfied. She raised the blade in her hand. The balance is perfect. When it comes, I won't hesitate. Not like before. Not like when I ran and when I left them. She pauses. The pause lengthens until it becomes clear that she won't speak again. Quality craftsmanship that it will see your beast off. You know, a sword only does so much if you don't know how to use it. Yeah, we might want to encourage her to get some training before something bad happens. It will do enough. I hope so. I heard it again last night, closer than ever. Let it come. I am not scared anymore. Well, good for you. Ooh, alabaster pigment. Thank you very much. And we have a new skill point. Don't mind if I do. Okay, let's take a look. So we can unlock part scaling. That would be kind of nice. Advanced swordsmithing unlocks advanced cross-section controls. Nice. And asymmetrical blades. Ooh. Allows you to forge asymmetrical blades. I think I will go for the scaling first and then the rest. Yeah. Okay, so we should have enough skill points to do Landin's commission as well. So, I think we might as well protect someone from the thieves. Needs to be short, a bit speedy, and a regular point. Let's go for it. As usual, we need to start with the length. That will do. And we might as well take care of the hilt now, because he is asking for a... Yes, thank you. He's asking for... Ooh, right. He is asking for specific items from the Bladesmith's companion, which are these. So we need to have one of these cross guards. It's going to be a small sword, so let's go for this one. Okay, can I adjust it only the size? I cannot make it curved yet, but soon. Okay, make it small. Let's give it a one-handed hilt. I think this will do. One-handed, perfect. And make it a simple pommel. It should be a simple arming sword, I suppose. And there we go. Yes, I know. Just adjust it, maybe the tutorial will go away. Fine, it will do. Okay, so the hilt is good to go. Now we just need to hammer the sword into shape. And let's take a look. So first things first, it requires a regular point. Maybe between the pointy and the broad, so maybe somewhere here should do it. Yeah, a regular point. A bit shorter. No, okay, fine. Go the other way. There we go. He will like this point at least. Next up, let's make it thinner. Needs to be quite a speedy blade. Yeah, it's not going to be very impactful, but it will do the job. Next up, might want to make it a bit narrower as well. So it will lose weight, which should make it a bit speedier. Although it's not doing that well. Okay, fine. There, and maybe a little bit thicker than this. Yeah. Give it at least a little bit of impact, stiffness. Okay, then now we just need to give it an edge, cross section. 2 points sharpness, maybe a bit more. That's as much as we can do. Okay, fine. I don't think I will give this one a name. It's a pretty barren sword. Also need to adjust the point. Yeah, that will do. A regular point. So, everything appears to be satisfied. Ooh, it's not very balanced to say the least. Can I make it a bit wider, maybe? Oh no, that's a bit too much. Alright, it's not the best sword ever, but you know what? No. I don't like it. It's better to be a bit thicker than too narrow. Yeah, that will do. I think this will do quite nicely. Everything appears to be satisfied. The balance is 52%, not the best, but I think it will do. Okay, and okay, I will name it. What do we want to name it? Sure, the peon. I think that will do. The applicant stands a little straighter as he tests the weight of the blade. It's perfect. You should see the blunt, rusted daggers those bullies wave around. This will put some real fear into them. Thank you, Smith. Maybe my kids will get to keep their food tonight. Well, fingers crossed. Okay, so we have a single point left. Do we want to go for a bit of extra money, 10 coins, or do we want to break something down? Let me see. I suspect this will... Oh, okay. Leather and wood, I suppose. This is the family heirloom. Or old tools. I think this one will only give us the steel. Let's go... We don't have enough steel. We have enough wood, I think, so I think I will break this one down. Thank you, 13. That will do for now. And we are out of points, so we have to end the day. And we made some nice profit. Good. Okay, so I don't think we can go to the gate. Not much we can do there. Let's go to the camp. Outside the walls of Eren Keep, desperate souls gather in makeshift tents, pleading for entry. Introduce yourself to the neighbors. The tents near you are mostly occupied by unfriendly, suspicious folk. They spit on the ground when you approach and ward you off with threatening gestures. There is one exception, however, a young woman who actually smiles as you approach, though her eyes are haunted and hollow-set. Glad to see you are feeling better. You were on death's door for a while there. Okay, so she must be... You looked after... Exactly, you looked after me? Not exactly. I dragged you to safety after you fell off your horse. Thank you for that. No problem. The old woman did most of the work nursing you back to health. Okay, so the old woman apparently was not just a vision. I checked in now and then, but she told me you were still recovering. Where is she anyway? I haven't seen her in days. She was gone by the time I woke up, and I have no idea who she was. You just handed me over to some random stranger, no idea. Let me know if you run into her again. I would like to thank her. Yeah. Will do, but wait. Do you mean you say she's not a relative of yours? How odd. Must have been just a kind-hearted old soul. Count your blessings. There's not many of those around in this camp. Hi, it's nice to see a friendly face around here. Lovely neighborhood, isn't it? Do you have any food? Yeah, it's nice to see a friendly face around here. And good to meet you too. Name's Shev, short for Shevena. But only my mother calls me that, and she's been dead for 10 years. Sorry to hear that. She's painfully thin and covered in grime, much like everyone else in the camp. She's the first person you've seen smile though. What do you imagine goes on in Eren Keep? I'm starting to forget what civilization used to look like. As long as it's better than here, I don't care what it's like. In Eren Keep, everyone is like an emperor and the streets are paved with beer. I don't think so. It's safe in there, the masked king looks after his people. It's somewhere you can set up shop, build a real business, not just creep by. As long as it's better than here, I don't care what it's... I mean... Yeah, I think so. 1. I hear that. She lapses into silence. Somewhere in the distance, a scream rings out. You both try to ignore it. Do you know anyone selling materials I could use for my forge? I heard someone say that there's a scrap peddler in the Lost City selling all sorts of things. Be careful if you go into Lost City though. That place gives me the shivers. A new location has been added to the map. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Shev. I will see you around. Before you can leave, Shev grabs your arm. There's a wild desperation in her eyes. I've been stuck out here for weeks, and not everyone in camp is as friendly as you. Not sure how much longer I can last. Can you do me a favor? If you get into Eren Keep before me, find a fellow named Lucas Boreona. He's my uncle. If he knew I was out here, he would help me, I'm sure of it. Okay, I will try to keep that in mind. Of course, I let him know you're here. You really think I will get him before you? You've been here longer than I have. I won't make any promises. Of course, I will let him know. Thank you. She rubs her eyes. Look at me, getting my hopes up. Lucas Boronia. Remember the name. Shev lifts her hand in farewell as you walk away from her tent. Her smile is as fragile as a porcelain. You know what, might as well scavenge for food. The tragedy of the applicants' camp is indescribable. So is the smell. There are no sewers out here, and not everyone bothers to go to the outskirts to use the latrines. Tucked away from the squalor, you find a pocket where desperation hasn't completely taken hold. Children are playing in the mud, a few scrawny chickens peck at the ground, miraculously uneaten. As you peek your way through, wary eyes track your movement from tent flaps, some calling out to alert their neighbors to the presence of a newcomer. At the center of this little commune, you find a family crouched around a huge cooking pot, shimmering with meats and scrounged vegetables. A little girl tosses a handful of wild herbs into the stew. Your mouth waters. I don't know, they seem a bit distrustful, but might as well try my luck. A father and mother, a gaggle of children, a grandmother with a face like an ancient apple, even a dog rolling on his back in the dirt, tongue waggling. They are rough-looking sorts, filthy and gaunt, but you are not exactly presentable yourself these days. Yeah, tell me about it. As you get closer, the man twitches aside his cloak to reveal a heavy wooden club. His wife hands darts to a dagger in her belt. The dog snarls, hackles raised. They all look at you carefully, awaiting your next move. Introduce myself. Oh there, stranger. Name's Bennett Maunder. This here's my wife, Trian, and her ma, Gida. I can take you through the names of the nippers too if you like, but I get them mixed up myself. The young woman smiles wanly, withdrawing her hand from the dagger hilt. The old woman just nods, her expression lost in a mess of wrinkles. The children cluster behind their father, peeping at you and giggling. Okay, so I suppose the old woman is not the one that nursed us back to health. Bennett. And this mod name is Clodo. He's a good boy. Keeps the vultures away. With the word vultures, Bennett's expression darkens. Clodo sneezes disdainfully. Let's try our luck. The dog lifts its lip in a snarl as you approach, but at the last moment it lowers its head and allows you to scratch behind his ear. Oh. Clodo seems to like him. That's good enough for me. Thank you. Good boy. Clodo's tail wags wildly, stirring up a cloud of dust. I thought it was muddy, not dusty, but oh well. You mentioned vultures earlier. Aye, human vultures. He doesn't elaborate further, but his shoulders stiffen. What's in the pot? Smells incredible. It only smells good because, from the looks of you, you haven't eaten a proper meal in weeks. Come on, pull up a rock, grab a bowl. His hugely generous gesture, meat out here is as precious as gold, and this man has children to feed. Don't worry about me, I'm not hungry. I think our upkeep buys us food, so I don't think we'll go hungry, but yeah, I think I will pass. You've got a full belly, have you? Enjoy the kingly feast in the land of milk and plenty, huh? Well, you can sit down at least and swap a story or two. Where did you find all this food? You seen those big merchant caravans that came trundling through the camp every day? A box of ration fell off the back of one of those. That's some luck, ain't it? Just fell off on its own accord, did it? Teach me your ways. In truth, I'm not sure I could do it again. The timing was perfect, the guards were distracted, the merchant had all caught the wasting fever and could barely lift their heads. You can't rely on that kind of luck. Yeah, how long have you been out here? Almost 2 months now, jeez. Every day I beg the guards to let us through, but they are not interested in the likes of us. They offered us a trade though. They will take our nippers in and keep them safe if Trian and I go work ourselves to death in their mines. But then who would look after old Gida, eh? What do you think of that? You should take that offer, Bennett. Is the only chance you've got. Mother would not survive, I suspect. Aye, that's the truth of it. So, we are stuck out here for the time being. Don't worry though, we'll find a way to get ourselves past that gate. Pleasure to meet you, Bennett. I'll see you later. Away from the Monders, the atmosphere of the camp resets itself. Unfriendly glares, distant sobbing, you draw your coat close around yourself and hurry back to your tent. You climb into the bedroll, massaging your swollen joints and trying to ignore the rumbling in your belly. Maybe tomorrow will be a better day. Okay, let's go ahead and make one more commission and I think we can call the episode there. Let's take a look. So we have... oh, Bennett. Bennett Monder approaches your anvil with Clodo, trotting faithfully beside him. The dog's tail wags in recognition of the as he spots you. He is asking for the Smith's companion and that's it. Ooh, okay. Good tidings, Smith. Just thought I would drop by to take a look at your forge. It's a nice little setup you've got there, ain't it? It's not bad. I was lucky, the forge was already here when I arrived. Naturally, if I had a proper forge, you would be stunned by what I could make. I was lucky. That's a stroke of luck. Still, there's a lot of abandoned stuff lying around camp. People die and leave their things behind. He pauses to scratch Clodo behind the ear, then straightens with a sigh. To tell the truth, Smith, this ain't a social call. I was looking to commission a blade from you. What brought this on? Any experience with weapons? Not with swords, no, but I kept order at my old tavern with a stout cudgel when needed. Drunk men are easier to handle than desperate ones, but I do know a bit about how to hurt a man. What brought this on? Camp is a dangerous place, and getting more dangerous by the day. I could do with a good sword if I am to protect my family. What can you offer? I don't have much coin, but I've got goods to barter. Stuff I've scavenged from wrecked wagons and ruined farmhouses. So it will cost us 13 steel, but it will give us 6, so okay, 7 altogether. And some old tools, that is going to be 13 extra steel. And a gold pendant. Clodo whines softly and nudges against Bennett's leg. My children, Trian, old Gida, they are depending on me to keep them safe, Smith. Please, that's got to be worth something. Okay, I will do it obviously, but let's take a look at the others first. So, Axel. The man at your anvil has a careworn face and a child clinging at his waist. He nods stiffly as you approach. I need a weaponsmith. Now her mother's gone, my little girl's only got me to protect her. Okay, that's going to be 9 points. Oh jeez. I cannot do both of them. What about Osko? A weary-looking man approaches your anvil, his shoulders bowed and his eyes haunted. He's pointing at a fresh black eye. Out here, the strong prey on the weak. I should have accepted that long ago. And I'm tired of being counted among the weak. A good blade might change the equation. What about Stacker? You've bent over your anvil, repairing one of your hammers, when a sudden voice at your shoulder makes you jump. Hello, Smith. The man must move as quietly as a cat. He's small, wiry, with a balding head and an eyes almost locked within deep black circles. He looks like he hasn't slept in weeks. You startled me. You should keep a better lookout, Smith. The name's Stacker. I try to keep watch over the camp at night, walk the perimeter, check on folks, warn off thieves. Jeez, everyone has a good reason, jeez. He rubs his face wearily. 3 nights ago, I caught some fellas trying to break into old Mart's tent. She's got nothing but a few scraps of food and some blankets. But they were going to take it anyway. I called out to them, told them to move along. They just laughed at me. What was I going to do? Fight all three of them with a wooden club? I need a sword. Oh, jeez. Okay, this game is making things hard. Did they take anything? Why do you take it upon yourself to watch over everyone? Even with a sword, 1 against 3 is poor odds. What kind of blades do you need? Did they take anything? They did. Took her last bit of dried meat and the good blanket her daughter gave her before she died. Left the old woman shivering and hungry. All because I had nothing but a lump of wood. Next time, I want to give them pause. Why do you take it upon yourself to watch over everyone? Someone has to. The watch up in the keep don't care what happens down here. Long as we don't cause them trouble, we're on our own. Way I see it, if we stick together, we can make the camp, well, not a nice place to be, but not unbearable neither. Trouble is, people always want to claw at each other over who's got the most scraps. Even with a sword, 1 against 3 is poor odds. Thieves are cowards, all bark and no bite. The sight of a drawn sword will set them running. Ooh, okay. Although he sounds confident, he won't quite meet your eyes. A part of you wonders if this man simply no longer cares if he lives or dies. Jeez. I really should have eaten. I think that will give us extra skill action points. It's a bit too late now. Let me see. So, he will give us plated grips. That's kind of nice. Moscow, Axel, two tankards and a heavy shackles, and Bennett. I wish it was a bit easier. By the way, this last one I believe is just repairing swords for single points and little bit of extra payment, so these can wait. But these, yeah, I really should have eaten. That would have given us a bit of extra points, and we could have done at least 2 of these, but now we have to choose between 1. I mean, Bennett is someone I know, so he is very sympathetic, but everyone here is sympathetic. What kind of blade do you need? Nothing fancy, just something that will make thieves think twice about whether they really want to push their luck. I think I will go for Stacker. We really need someone to keep order in this place. Yeah, hopefully Bennett will keep around. Fingers crossed. Okay, so it's not going to be a very long blade apparently. Change length. Just a one-handed blade. This long. No longer than this, it's fine. Although, I suppose we could make it a bit longer, so it would be a bit more imposing. Yeah. Let's make it as imposing as possible. And just slightly shorter, and that will do. Okay, next up. A wooden handle. Yes, I know. Okay, so that counts as one-handed, and I suppose a simple, yeah, pommel like this. Although, wait, let's make the handle more like this. So, you know, it narrows down to the pommel. Okay, now, it's asking for one more thing from the, at least 2, oh right, the actual crossguard. I will go for this one. If I make it a bit bigger, there, but shorter. Yeah, sure, I think this will do quite nicely. Although, I think I will move this one here, but a bit into the... you know, wait. Let's make this one smaller, but longer, like this. And now we can do the pommel, which will be once again smaller, but a bit into the handle, like this. Yeah, that will do. Okay, so now we can do the blade. It requires a narrow point. Let's start with that. There we go. Next up, basically everything is satisfied, but obviously we need to have an edge and everything, so let's go for it. Make it a bit narrower. Only go until the top of the crossguard. Okay, a bit more. There. I think I will stop here. I want to have this sword to have as much impact as possible. Then I would like... I think the width is fine. Yeah. Oh, right, and now we can do tapers as well. I think I will taper the thickness. So basically, we can have it like this, or we can taper it down. So basically the blade will get thinner as we approach the end of the blade, I think. Right? We need to adjust the angle like this. There, so let's take a look. I don't think it's doing much. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Okay, fine. In that case, we can get rid of this one. There we go. And we could go for a narrower taper like this. So all we need to do is adjust it. Oh. It is turning into a leaf sword. I don't think I want that. Yeah, you know what? Get rid of this. And the taper. Thank you. Just give it an edge and that's it. That will do, I think. It's not very sharp. We need to make it a bit less thick, I think. Yeah, just need to make it thinner. No, it needs to be more stiff. In that case, we need to make it wider. Nope, that will not do. Okay, in that case, needs to be thicker once again. Well, it's not going to be very sharp, but it should be quite imposing. Just make sure the cross-section is as narrow as possible. Yeah, that's it. That's all we can do. A spine width. What does it do? Oh. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I think this will have to do. It has lots of impact, not very sharp, but it will be a nice blunt sword, I suppose. And you can thrust with it, so that should be quite alright as well. Everything appears to be satisfied. It is quite nicely balanced. It is a bit heavy, but that should be alright. Okay, I will call this one the Guardian. He takes the sword with steady hands, checking the balance and edge with a practiced eye. Damn fine piece, exactly as I asked for. He straps the swords to his belt, adjusting it until it sits comfortably at his side. Thank you, Smith. The camp is lucky to have someone like you. Try not to go looking for trouble now that you are armed. I worry that you are going to get yourself killed. Oh. Try not to go looking for trouble. I worry that you are going to get yourself killed. So maybe this will warn him to not to be, a bit too hasty. I've been in this camp for years. I used to hide in the tent like a rabbit, but I'm getting old. I'm not too afraid of dying anymore. Well, still, it's better to have you around than not, right? Okay, we have a new book, and we are completely out of points, unfortunately. Well, we can unlock something new, I think. So, we can unlock more cross-section controls, or we can go for asymmetrical blades. I think I will go for asymmetrical blades. That will allow us to make single-edged weapons. That will be kind of interesting, I think. Okay, go for that one first. And before we say goodbye, I will quickly take a look at these. So we can break this one down. That give us wood and leather as expected. Good. And we have the plated grips. This will give us a diamond grip. Nice. And something else. Okay, I guess we will see what it is. And we have 2 points left. We cannot break anything down. All we can do right now is repair stuff. So you know what? Let's do 2 of those and let's see. So basically these are repairs. We have to spend 1 point. It doesn't cost us anything, but it will give us a bit of extra money and XP. Sure. So right now we need to make this sword less balanced apparently, if you say so, and more sharp. Okay, so we need to hammer the cross section a little bit. Not quite there yet, so we need to make it a little bit less thick. Wow, this one is... Okay, maybe hammer this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that is satisfied now. Now the balance. I suspect if we make it a bit wider, that might do it. Yeah, there we go. Now we just need to give it a point, a regular point, so I suspect a couple of... Yeah, there we go, that's it. Okay, so I didn't make this sword, so I will obviously not name it, but we do have some stuff on this one that are kind of interesting. For example, this little, I don't know, extra design element at the close to the hilt, that is kind of interesting. Yeah. So anyways, I think we are done. Everything appears to be satisfied. Good as new, maybe better. Why? I bet it could slice a man's eyes before he can blink. Okay. Cheers, mate. My enemies will lament my name. Okay, as I said, a nameless sword because I am not going to name it. And we can do this one more time. Liamu. Let's go for it. Okay, so it is apparently a, I don't know, falchion or scimitar, whatever. We need, the point is okay, need to make it a bit sharper and that's it. Okay, so cross section. That will do, but needs to make it a little, although maybe if I do this. So make the blade run all the way to the hilt. No, that will not increase the sharpness, so okay, we need to make it a bit narrower or less thick. Thinner, that's the word. Okay, not that one. This one. There we go. Everything appears to be satisfied. Yeah. That is quite a narrow blade now, but, well, for sharpness, have to make some sacrifices. Okay, here you go. Hope you enjoy. Thank you, and we're at the points. Now, I do want to visit the Lost City or whatever it is, because I want to meet that peddler. So let's take a look. Oh, made quite a bit of money. Not too bad. Okay, so yeah, the Lost City. The scrap peddler can be found here. Not all of Eren Keep was granted the Masked King's protection. In centuries past, the city spilled beyond its ancient walls. Now the barrier, which traces the wall's course, has left these outer areas to the mercy of the wastes. Nicknamed the Lost City, these crumbling districts have been picked over by countless looters, but rumors persist that there is worthwhile treasure to be found among the rubble. Seek out the scrap peddler. As night draws closer, the shadow in the Lost City come alive. Hidden eyes watch from high places. You scurry through the ruins, feeling as small and vulnerable as an insect. Fortunately, the scrap peddler is easy to find. He warms his hands over a blazing fire in an empty market square, accompanied by a sad-looking mule pulling a cart full of junk. He is an off-putting sight. Most of his face is bandaged, but the exposed areas are a mess of festering sores and flaking skin. Oh, a leper? You dread to think what the bandages are hiding. Not contagious, not contagious. The peddler points at himself as he shouts. One yellow eye peers madly at you through the gauze. What kind of malady afflicts you? Not contagious, I swears it. He doesn't seem to fully understand your question. Taking a look at him, his disease looks like either leprosy or a terrible skin condition. Either way, best not to get too close. I have many things. I find them in the dark places. I said to you. How do you find all this stuff? The dark places call to me. I find forgotten things there. He points vaguely downwards. The mule retches as though ready to expire. Don't think this the wrong way, but I'm surprised no one has killed you and stolen your goods. Huh, I'm good at hiding. If found, I cough and sputter and pretend to be contagious. The bad men run a mile. Okay. But I'm actually not contagious, I swears it. What do you sell here? Many things. Much to be found for those who know. Can I see your wares? But it's too dark. The dark time is for taking my favorites, not giving. Come back in daylight so you can see what you is buying, yes? A new vendor is available from the forge. The scrap peddler. Nice. Bid goodbye to the peddler. Okay. Partners forever and always, yes? Sure. His rotten grin sends a shiver down your spine. You know what, since we are here, we might as well search the ruins. The Lost City has been endlessly picked over by scavengers. Your hopes of finding something are slim, but irresistible. Shards and rubble crunch underfoot as you trudge down empty streets. Sure enough, one by one, the half-collapsed shells of houses prove to offer nothing of value. Let's go a bit deeper. You walk through the district that was at some point devoured by fire, leaving only charred rubble. The only surviving building is an armory, its stone walls blackened by soot. I don't think it will find anything, but you know what, might as well try. The weapon racks stand empty, obviously. Picked clean by generations of scavengers. In the corner, half buried under fallen debris, you spot a slumped figure. The corpse is recent, some other looter who was trapped when the building collapsed. Hopefully he was crushed before he starved. One of his feet sticking out from under the rubble, and the boot looks to be of decent quality. You pull it off with some difficulty. Okay, let's go home. For a moment you think you've lost your way, but then you spot a fountain you recognize, its statue cracked and headless, its remaining water just a puddle of black slime. You breathe a sigh of relief. This is familiar territory. The sun slips low in the sky, the shadow of the ruin lengthens. Time to leave. Something follows you through the shattered streets, its soft footfalls slightly out of time with your own. When you turn around, it's gone, but the hairs on your neck are bristling. You hurry back to the camp. Unlike the lost souls camped among these black ruins, you still cling to the hope of entering Eren Keep. And I think we will end this episode here. Wow, I really like this game so far. Anyways, before we say goodbye, a few hours past midnight, you are awoken by a soft, silken hiss. A blaze slices through the fabric of your tent. Oh jeez. The fabric falls away and reveals a pair of gleaming eyes, a crescent of yellow teeth, a gaunt figure with a knife in his hand. He steps carefully into your tent, apparently thinking you asleep. Behind him are the dim shapes of other men. Okay, I was kind of expecting this. Each night, you bury your tools and your coin in a new location. There's not much in the tent they can steal, but they don't look like the types who will be happy if they don't find anything worthwhile. Feign sleep. Let me see if we can trick them. You keep your breathing steady, your eyelids barely cracked open. The intruder creeps closer, knife extended. Behind him, his companions whisper impatiently. You have a sword near your bedroll, hidden in a bundle of rags. Perhaps you can reach it before the knife finds your neck. Oh, 45%. I don't like it, but I think we have established that only swords will keep these guys at bay. Let's see. Oh, okay. You snatch up the blade and leap to your feet, stabbing in one fluid motion. Deep gurgles as your blade finds his heart. The knife drops from his twitching fingers. His companions shriek and flee, leaving their friend to bleed out in front of you. You wipe off the blade while blood pools beneath your feet. Searching the tree's twitching corpse, you find a purse full of coins, no doubt stolen from other tents. Hey, not bad. 24 coins. Good. On the downside, it looks like you won't be getting any more sleep tonight. You have a body to bury. Great. Well, at least it will only last for a day. The morning's events have left you fatigued. Today's work will be slower as a result. You wake up with a groan, every movement sluggish. The night have left you with a bone-deep, abiding exhaustion. Today's work will be impacted. Okay. And we still have 8 action points. Okay, I was expecting worse than this. But as I said, I think we will say goodbye for today and pick things up in the next episode. For now, all that is left to say is that thank you for watching. If you liked the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want. If you would like to support me a little bit more, you can do so by clicking the join button and becoming a channel member, which will give you an early and ad-free access to these videos. Once again, thank you for watching and thank you very much for your support. I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.